So yeah, hello everybody, and welcome back to Nerdly Out Loud, the official podcast of nerdly.co.uk, your favorite entertainment website for all of your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. This is a interview that I did do at the Romford Horror Film Festival, the Horrific Festival. You would have seen all those videos going out. I was doing loads of interviews there, and they were awesome. But this is one that I did, and yeah, 8 years in, still make mistakes. So we are redoing it. I have got the guys from ARK Indie Productions. I've got Daniel Keeble and Alice Ryan. How are you guys tonight?
Good evening, good evening. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you very much, Kevin.
No, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. And again, apologies for the mistake. And I am making amends right now. We're going to talk about everything that you had at the festival. You had two movies at the festival. You had See What She Did, and you had Room 301. So we'll talk a little bit about them. We will talk a little bit about ARK on the whole, and a little bit about your company. And yeah, let's just shoot the breeze. I do hear that we have something special that Daniel's going to drop on us later, so we'll talk about that. But so everybody that's here, let's do this. Like I say, we were at Romford Film Festival. How did you guys enjoy that, the Horror Fest?
It was fantastic, and it always is, isn't it? Every year that we go to the festival, both the Romford Film Festival and the horror the other week, always fun.
Did you guys see anything that kind of got your juices flowing? Any projects there that you were kind of like, yeah, that was good? We had a good selection this year.
I really enjoyed, I believe it was the winner of Best Short Film, 665.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I say enjoyed. I did spend most of it looking through my fingers because it was just amazing. But the effects were fantastic. The concept, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
There were quite a few really good, strong short films that we watched. Obviously, it's good to see Feed Me Again, the feature, and I saw a few other short feature films. Really strong festival this year.
Yeah,
really impressive. And again, on the last day, all the winners, it was just really cool to see everyone just getting that accolades and the appreciation for their hard work. And we just really, as always, we're always honored to be even part of the festival each year.
Yeah. And like, you guys always are submitting movies to us. You submit movies everywhere, but we've had a good few movies come through ARK, and I did wonder, how important is it for these festivals to exist and for you guys to be at these festivals and get, like you say, the accolades and the chance to show these on a big screen?
Oh, I think it's incredibly important, because if you're making films and then it's not being shared, you're not influencing others, you're not entertaining others. And festivals are a great way to also see fresh new work, to be inspired by other artists, and inspired by other genres and designs and creatives. So it's incredibly important, and it's a great learning curve as well. So these festivals are so important. We really, really thank you and appreciate all the hard work that you guys put into all of the stuff at Romford. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it gives indie filmmakers like us like an audience, essentially, just people who appreciate these types of films, low budget, passion projects, whatever. And yeah, like I say, it gives us an opportunity to showcase, rather than it just being stuck on Vimeo where not many people would see it or what have you, to be able to see it obviously in the proper cinema with an audience and get that feedback and engaging with the audience, especially what Romford do with the Q&As afterwards, and what you do as well with interviews throughout the festival. Not many film festivals give those opportunities to filmmakers like us, so it's a joy to be able to explain our work as well as share it as well,
Yeah,
because I feel like our film explaining sometimes, so it's handy.
Yeah, your film definitely needed explaining. So let's get into that real quick. See What She Did. Can you explain to our listeners, our viewers, where this movie came from and what it means to you, what it is to you?
So See What She Did was our third short film that we've made so far. and this is right in the middle of the pandemic, and it's in between lockdowns where we had an opportunity to go outside and work together, and we wanted to make a film that was filmed outside, and we chose woods because we had some friends who owned some private land, and they allowed us to film in the woods, which is amazing. So we came up with this idea. Well, Samantha, the main actress, and she's part of ARK, she had this idea, this concept, and we worked together to write this script about two ladies going into a woods, and they take lots of drugs and they do all the drinking and stuff, and something happens in the middle of the night. So the whole concept was down to Samantha, really, and the idea that was her idea to begin with, and we just had a great time on that set because it was 2 heavy nights of very late nights, long shoot, and it came out so well. I'm incredibly pleased with See What She Did in particular because, I directed it and wrote it, so for me, it's such a huge undertaking as well, and it came out perfectly for us, I think.
Yeah, it's
And
a
what's
really
that like?
good one. Yeah, people have loved it, and we've really loved doing it. It was a superb shoot.
And so Samantha's your lead actress, and she's written it, and Daniel, you're directing, and you've written it. Alice, for people out there who aren't entirely sure, what does a producer do?
Everything but the acting. So on a lower budget front, it's essentially getting everyone together. So when you're working with Hollywood budgets, it's slightly different. But when you're working on a lower budget, it's essentially someone that sort of collects everyone together. So they'll be the people putting together call sheets, helping sort locations, contacting cast and crew, supporting the director, this kind of thing. So for See What She Did, I upped my game and I was producing and first AD, supporting Dan with all the incredible work that he did. But essentially it is getting everyone together and communicating with everyone and making sure everyone's in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
And how does that work when Dan takes you out into the woods against the elements?
We were so lucky with this shoot. Everything just fell into place. I don't know what happened, but everything really worked. All of the crew were fantastic. Our actors were superb. Everything was just absolutely brilliant, and the weather really worked in our favor because I think we were filming in September. It was September time, so it was very risky, but it worked. It worked.
It always is, isn't it? When you're filming outside,
Nice.
when you can't rely on English weather, is it going to go? If it's going to be chucking it down, then we have no shoot, and that is a huge risk. So, but I mean, I always do with all the films I do. Whenever we're filming outside, just checking the weather and planning it so that we're kind of we're going to be okay. But we were very lucky with See What She Did when we came to it.
And I think afterwards you look back and you go, oh, I just remember all this brilliant stuff and how fantastic it was. Guaranteed in the lead up, we were checking weather apps every half an hour for 3 weeks in the lead up, and we were coming up with backup plans, and we were thinking about this, and we had gazebos and we had everything ready just in case.
I was going to say you had the tent anyways.
Yeah.
So before I move on a little bit, Daniel, I asked you at the fest as well, but I really need to ask this question again because I kind of really was intrigued in how you did this. Without any spoilers, obviously, the knife shot at the end, I think you guys absolutely smashed this, and it looked superb up on the big screen. It just kind of it threw me for 6. How did you go about making that look as real as it did, and was it all practical?
It was about 90% practical, and I would love to share the video of myself practicing that in my own garden about a week beforehand.
Yeah.
Because I need to get the angles right with the camera and stuff. So there's a video of me with the same knife, just doing that scene, recreating that scene, because it's quite a dangerous scene. The knife was right up against her eye as well in real life. So we had to plan it and do it perfectly right for it to work. And it's a combination of the right camera angles, the precision with the position of the knife. We had a small tube running behind the knife with fake blood within it. So the knife handle had a little pipette, or whatever it's called, a little bottle that Samantha squeezed a little bit just so that blood would come out as the knife pressed against her skin. And the way she put the knife against her nose, it was just behind her nose, so that we use a bit of CGI just to cut it away into her skin, so it looks like it's actually going into her nose. And it worked beyond what I thought it would do, because I think this is going to work or not. You never know until you stick it on in the edit and then it comes to life. But our man Stuart Cope, he did a bit of beautiful magic with that, added a bit more blood to the scene, and then you got the front shot as well, and then you got the whole blood dripping down. Oh, it was beautiful. And the fact that we filmed that at 1 a.m. when everyone was so tired, and we had like 3 or 4 attempts, and she wasn't quite doing it right. There's outtakes of her getting it wrong. So, it's a lot of work, but it's a combination of practice and rehearsing and planning, as always.
It is just on that, like, on my laptop it looked great, on my TV it looked great, but on the screen, damn, it looked great. So I wanted to just dig into that a little bit.
Yeah, always. Especially with the music as well. And it all comes together on the cinema screen. Wonderful.
What do you guys? Because Daniel, you're quite good at taking quite deep topics, quite meaningful topics. That's what you guys tend to do mostly. But what do you hope people take away from this movie when they see it?
To see what she did. What do you think, Alice? What do you take from it?
I'm trying to figure it out without spoiling too much, really.
I've spoiled half the film by talking about the knife, so I think we're good at this point.
For me, it had so many different layers within it, and I think it was the extremes of how people can suffer from these kinds of issues. So she's gone out into the woods and she's partied hard with this friend of hers, and then things take a turn, and it's looking at how people end up dealing with these kinds of mental issues that she might have. And I'm trying to talk around it. But it was it's looking at extremes. So there are different layers within the film, but I think it was looking at the extreme of how people end up dealing with these kinds of issues, and possibly that she's gone too far, or she may go too far in the future, and you never know which path people might end up taking.
Yeah, I think that adequately dances around the subject, I guess. Who would like to tell me what ARK Indie Productions is, how it began, and what the mission statement is?
It began with a conversation between Samantha Anderson and myself. So Sam is a fantastic actor, and she came to me, and I'd known her for quite a few years, sort of through the local theatre scene. And she said, I really want to try and make a film or put something together, and I want to try and campaign women in film. And she really wanted to push for quite different kind of movies. And she said, I just wasn't sure where to start, because she's got all this experience but didn't know how to sort of go about putting things together. So she came up with the idea for our first film, Off the Hook, and sort of spoke to me about a rough idea, and then said, she's not sure where to go with it. And I said, well, I know enough people. I know enough. We both know enough about film. I said, do you know Daniel Keeble? He's fantastic. Let's try and get him on board, because he's a brilliant director and cinematographer. So we all ended up talking together. And then, strangely, in my mind, the next memory is actually making Off the Hook. There was a lot of information, a lot of talks, and a lot of stuff that went on in between that. But ARK sort of appeared out of that, really, the three of us coming together and sharing all of our expertise and saying we all want to try and make really original, thought-provoking pieces of film. And I think so far we've really done that, and I'm really, really chuffed with everything that we've done so far. And that's how we ended up starting, really. So thank you very much, Samantha.
And off the hook, quick shout out to the wonderful award-winning leading man, Neil Ward.
Yes, yeah, we were so lucky, and he was ever so nice because he turned up. It was another night shoot, and it was in October. And he turned up, and call time was like 11:30 at night. Turned up, hadn't met anyone before. I know he'd worked with you before, hadn't he, Dan?
Yeah.
But he was fantastic. He was great. So yeah, it was nice. We had Neil's talents on our screens first. Everyone, ha ha ha.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. and indie filmmaking, as anybody knows, as everybody knows, is it's a hard slog. I mean, filmmaking at any level is a hard slog, but especially at sort of the independent level. What is it that gets you guys up, gets you motivated, gets you passionate, and just keeps you pushing forward to keep making what you want to make?
Well, I mean, at the moment, I think we're in a really creative bubble between myself, Alice, and Samantha. We've met up a few times since the horror festival the other week because we're always pushing ourselves with new ideas, new stories that we want to tell. And we're so passionate and eager to tell these stories. And we love filmmaking. I love directing. I love cinematography. I love writing and making films. And the guys, I mean, they both love acting. They both love making films. We love working together. So we're all pushing ourselves, and we're all because it's very easy to just forget why you started in the first place. And if you don't have someone with you just to keep pushing you, you don't really get anywhere. So the three of us are quite good at. I mean, we chat on a WhatsApp group every day about what's going on and all our film projects and how we can share more and how we can do this and how we can do that. So I think we're good motivators for each other, and that's important when you're an independent film company and you want to make stuff together, because there's no huge budgets. We have to figure out how we can make these films. But I think so far our body of work, when we look back, even from when we look back at Off the Hook, the first film we did, I'm so proud of that film. I forget what we went through to get that film made, and when I watch it back and go, oh yeah, I remember that scene. I remember why I did that and why this shot was there for. And it's all. I mean, I'm very proud of everything that we've done so far. So.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Really, I don't think I've got anything else to add to that. We absolutely love what we do.
Yeah.
So with that, and Daniel, you've had this question before, but I'm going to move it out from See What She Did and just put it across all projects that you've done. Any creative, when I ask them about the movie they've just seen up on the big screen or the movie that they've made, can tell me all the wrong things they did. The shot that went on just a little bit too long, the dialogue that was delivered just a little bit not right. But what I like to ask is, what one thing in any project that you've made that you've seen up on the screen did you absolutely love? Did you think we've absolutely smashed that and that looks amazing?
Oh, wow.
Well, I'll quickly mention the knife scene and See What She Did. For me, it just worked and it looked great. So that was, See What She Did. That nightmare sequence was just fantastic. It looks amazing. So I'm very proud.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably one of the top scenes in another one of our films, Wood Near Jacob's Farm, which we filmed just the week before everything shut down for lockdown. And the production value on that film, the location that we had, and the 4x4 that we'd borrowed to then drive out, and the shots involving this fantastic Jeep, it looks brilliant. And so for me, the production value behind that particular one, considering what was going to happen to the world afterwards, means quite a lot as well, I think.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. But ARK does also do other people's movies. You've got Darren Kent came in for Room 301. How do you go about picking these people or finding these people that you want to work with and put their project out?
It's just a case of being aware that there are amazing filmmakers who live nearby. Sometimes we get contacted by other writers or directors, or sometimes we'd approach them. Every project is a bit different. We have a lovely film called You Know Me, which we've just put on our YouTube channel, and that was a combination of through Essex Film Collective, and let's make a film. I couldn't direct it because I was doing another film within their remit of films. So we approached Darren Kent to jump on board, and he was up for the challenge of directing the short film. And then the latest film that we've got coming out is called Nuts, and that was a fantastic filmmaker called Dave Gardner. And I think he approached us to because he's seen our work, and he's like, "I'd love to work with you guys. Can you help make this film come to life?" So we stepped forward and got involved with that as well. And that's a lovely film that is going to be out very shortly. And I'm very proud of that as well.
And this is something that I'm absolutely loving in the UK with the independent scene, absolutely, because years gone by, that's the kind of thing that would happen. People would help each other out and people would jump on board, but it kind of died off and it kind of became sort of like a little, no, this is my project, nobody's touching it. But now we're getting back to those roots of we're all independent, we're all homegrown, let's grassroots filmmaking. Like I love seeing that, and you guys are a huge part of that. So I just want to pimp that for a little quick second as well.
Absolutely.
What's next for ARK? What's next for Dan? What's next for Alice? What's next for Samantha? What's next for ARK Indie Productions?
Cool. Well, the big thing for us, and it's been a few months in the making. Am I allowed to say it, Alice? What do you think?
Let's do it.
Cool. So we're having a bit of a rebrand. So we're changing our name. We're going to now going forward. We're now going to be called ARK Pictures, and we've got a whole slate of work coming up. We have a lovely new website. We've got a brand new logo, fresh new look going forward. We're very proud of our films that we've made so far and all the independent style of films that we've been making, but we need to step it up a gear essentially, and going forward we needed a name and a fresh new approach to represent that. So going forward we're going to be shooting a brand new micro short in the spring, because that is literally this week, kind of fresh off as in we come up with the idea and I'm writing that as we speak. But this summer we're doing our biggest project we've ever done yet, which will be announced next week. And I'm incredibly excited about that. It's something that I've written and I'm going to be directing. It'll be a big cast involved, so I'd recommend everyone kind of follow us on the socials and get involved with, because we'll be needing people to get involved, crew, cast wise. So that's happening this summer, and beyond that we're in development and writing 2 feature films that we're going to be working on. Nice. So there's so much going on with us, and we are incredibly excited, and we just really can't wait to get going with it all.
I can't believe it. There we go. That's the big announcement. ARK Pictures, here we come.
Yeah. The website should be live now, so arkpictures.co.uk, and we're also obviously on the social media, etc. So check us out.
That's absolutely amazing. That's absolutely amazing. If we're going to end on this cheeky little quick one, because it's a nice easy question for you all to answer, for you guys to answer. You guys have come together and you've created ARK Indie and now ARK Pictures as we move forward. And you've made a few projects that you're all extremely proud of, and I'll have to say I've seen a couple of them up on the big screen now, and you should be proud. If you could go back and tell young you as you were starting out one little bit of advice, what would that advice be?
Oh, wow.
It's a nice, easy question.
It is, isn't it?
It's an easy question to ask, but not Not an easy answer.
Wow.
I was going to send that to you ahead of time so you could have a little think, but then I thought, you know what? Let's put them on the spot. It's live.
I would say if I was younger, I would just tell myself, look, read more and watch more films. Just figure out how they do it and learn from the best and watch really good film, good cinema, because there's so much wonderful films out there to be influenced by. And then find your own kind of voice, your own kind of style, at least. But you got to take it from other people's genius films that are out there at the moment, and read, like I say, lots of books to read.
Yeah.
And Alice is just going to steal that.
Probably, because I just can't. I think I've been so lucky in the fact that, you know, my job is what I do and what I love, and everything I do is creative. But I do think it would be still to say, go for it, with a big exclamation mark and big capital letters. Really go for it, because I think there have been points where I think in anyone's career you sort of second guess yourself. You go, I'm okay, and am I? And you know what? With the way that ARK Pictures, how exciting, works, we've been collaborative, we've challenged ourselves, and we have gone for it. And as a result, we've created some incredible stuff. And so I think, yeah, it would be reiterate to just go for it. And I think that's a bit of advice that everyone can take if you're wanting to be in the creative world.
100%.
People know one more time, ARK Pictures, where they can find it.
Yeah, so arkpictures.co.uk is our brand new website, and we're all on Instagram. We've got a YouTube channel, ARK Pictures. We've got 3 films up there so far. We've been doing 1 a month for the rest of the year. Hopefully, how many films we've got left to share. We're all Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So yeah, ARK Pictures.
That is pretty cool, by the way. It's all about leveling up, and I'm super glad and super proud to see that you guys are doing that. So,
yeah, we're going to step it up. We can't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you've got to. If you're not stepping it up, you're kind of just wasting your own time, really, aren't you? And you guys are not doing that, and it's great to see. And I can't wait to see what you guys do in the future.
And we can't wait to see it on the big screen at the next festival as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Kev, for your support, man. It's amazing that you champion indie filmmakers like us, and you're really passionate, and it shows in your chats with you. It's fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm just faking the funk. I'm not at all. I'm not at all. That's terrible. I can't believe I just said that. Can't even edit that either. But no. No, I'm all about the indie side of things, and I'm really, really just pleased that you guys sat down to sit down and do this and chat with me about your projects. It's where my passion is. Listen to your passion. That's why I do what I do, and that's why you guys do what you do. So let's all just do it together in a totally, totally non-innuendo kind of way. And with that, on that bombshell, we will bow out. But again, as the guys say, please check out ARK Pictures. Please check out everything they've got out there, all the social medias, follow them, like them, everything like that. And most of all, just support.
Thank you.
Thank you.